channel, Apples and Tiaras. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the pros and cons of teaching. Now, this was kind of a requested video. There were a lot of questions about what it's like being a teacher, what are the good things about being a teacher, what are the bad things about being a teacher, so I thought it would be a good idea to throw together kind of like a pros and cons video of teaching. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Also, I really don't want to come across as a person that hates their job or is unhappy in teaching. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys in this video, and I do want you to remember that I do love my job and I wouldn't do anything else with my life, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so I do have a list of pros and cons here. They're not very long, but I am going to talk about each one in itself. Okay, so I'm going to start with a pro and then I'm going to go in with a con, so I've got a positive for every negative. Alright, so one of the very first, of course, pros of teaching is that is extremely rewarding. Getting to see my students learning and getting to see those light bulbs going off is incredibly rewarding, and it is worth every moment of stress that I get in teaching. Getting to see them grow and improve and just become these wonderful people that they are is just extremely rewarding, and that is one of the very, very, very most important reasons that most people teach. One of the cons for teaching is very long hours. Now, we usually have contracted hours, and mine are 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I need to be there at 8. I cannot leave until 4. Now, I usually get there at about 7, and I usually leave about 4:30, sometimes 5 o'clock. If I'm really behind, I can go up to even 7 o'clock at night that I stay there. And these long hours do not end when you leave. You, of course, bring home grading. You, of course, bring home planning. So you're really working 12-hour days when you really count. And so that's just one of the cons, is long hours and, of course, bringing work home with you. One of the other pros of teaching is, of course, that amazing time off. Yes, we do have summers off. Yes, we do have holiday breaks. Yes, we do have Martin Luther King Day. We have President's Day. We have all these wonderful days off, and I think that that's one of the biggest pros for teaching itself, is just having that time off, especially the summers. It is so nice to have an extended period of time off, and I think all teachers enjoy that part of it. Another con to teaching is, of course, going with that extra time thing, is that we are not paid overtime. So if I get there before 8 or I leave after 4 o'clock, I do not get paid for those extra hours that I am there. I do not get paid for the hours that I work at home, and I do not get paid for the hours that I come in on the weekends or any time that is not contract hours. So no overtime pay. Another pro to teaching is, of course, it is really fun. You get to hang out with kids all day. I mean, how is that not fun? If you love children, then teaching is a really good profession to get into, because you get to hang out with kids all day. Now, I like to think of myself as a big child, so I think that that's one of the reasons I love teaching so much, because I connect with kids. I'm just a childish person, so I think I connect with them on a much better level than someone who's way just not exciting and fun and childish. I think that that's one of the reasons why I love teaching so much, because I get to connect with kids. One of the really big cons of teaching is, of course, being underpaid. We don't make very much money. Some places make really good money for teachers. I know that Arizona is one of the worst paying for teachers. I know that some teachers can make between $30,000 a year to ranging in the 40s, depending on how much education you have and how long you've been working. Now, I'm not going to say exactly how much I make, but I will say that if I were to be a single person, I would have a really hard time creating a life for myself, having a place to live by myself. I would need to depend on others like roommates or family to be able to make it, or I would have to seek elsewhere for an extra job of employment. So I really do not make very much money, but as we always say, we're not here for the money. One of the pros that I wrote down is that there are new things happening every day. It's kind of like when you walk in the door, you don't really know what to expect sometimes. For the most part, you know what's going to happen, but new things can happen every day and you're just not expecting it, and it can be really exciting. Another con to teaching is, of course, it is a really stressful job. We're constantly thinking about what our kids need. We're constantly thinking about what we're going to plan next. We're constantly thinking about those tests coming up. And of course, the student's success. A lot of our accountability comes around testing time. If our test scores don't show that our kids are improving, then it's really, really stressful on us, because then it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, if they're not improving, you know, what are you doing wrong? And so that can be really, really stressful on a teacher. One of the other pros to teaching is benefits. Yes, we are underpaid, but we do get some really good benefits. We are covered, we have dental, we have vision, we have regular medical benefits, we can get car insurance, and so I think that the benefits are really worth teaching for and getting underpaid for. We also get a retirement and a pension in a few years when we retire. So I think that that's really important to remember, that we are working towards a retirement, we're working towards benefits, and so I think that that's another pro to teaching. So another con to teaching is, of course, being underappreciated sometimes. I know that a lot of people do really appreciate teachers and what they do, but there are a lot of people that don't appreciate teachers, and I think that sometimes we can get really overwhelmed by some parent communications and interactions and being felt unappreciated by some of our students, and of course sometimes by our administrators or other people that we're working with. Now, I personally don't feel underappreciated by my administrators or by anyone I work with. I definitely don't feel underappreciated by any of my parents or, you know, people that I'm working with every day. Some days I feel like I'm underappreciated by my students, but they're children. They're not going to appreciate some of the things you do because they don't know any better. So one of those cons is, of course, being underappreciated. And then the last pro to teaching that I think is just working with wonderful people. I mean, as teachers, we are very caring, we're very nurturing, and we love each other. We don't just love our kids, we love each other. All of my really, really best friends are teachers because we understand each other. We have fun planning, we have fun creating, we have fun with these kids, and we connect on that level, and we understand the level of stress that we're under. We understand that, oh, I can't go out to the movie tonight because I need to plan for an observation next week. Okay, I get that. You go do that, you know? And so I think that just the bond that we have, the camaraderie between teachers is really, really positive. And I just could not imagine working in a better environment with better people. I just love who I work with, and I can't complain about any one person that I work with. I just love all of them. So those are some of my pros and cons for teaching. I know there's probably a bajillion more out there that people could think of, but those are the ones that I came up with personally. If you guys can think of any other things that are wonderful about teaching, please comment them down below. I mean, we complain in our day-to-day when we're stressed out, but at the end of the day, you really do value your job and you really do love your job. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. So have a magical day. I'm filming right now. Can you see my ring light and my glasses? Hello. Everyone say hi to Jennifer.